Have you seen a cheap piece of land and thought, let's just throw a manufactured home on it? Let's look at the pros and cons of that. Welcome to the Monday Market Housing Update from the Hatch Homes Group. You have Angela and Johnny here with you this week. This week we are going to talk about something we get talked to a lot about. We have a lot of people come to us thinking it could be really affordable to just get some land and put a manufactured home on it.
Yeah, so people often think that it will be a cheaper route to go to do that. You know, they can buy a modular home or a manufactured home for as low as like $80,000. They see plots of land that, wow, this land's only $100,000. I could have my own little like dream property with a new house and on my own plot of land. But there are a lot of things that you need to consider if you want to go down that route. And unfortunately, they might not be affordable options for most people. Okay, one of the reasons why it might not be as affordable is if you want to buy raw land, there's not as many financing options for you. So a lot of people pay cash for raw land. And then also, you know, if you do get a loan, there's definitely loan options, but I believe the lowest that I've seen recently for a down payment on a plot of land was 30% down. So definitely not first-time home buyer friendly.
And oftentimes I also see on raw land that it's like seller carried financing, and they also would want 20 to 30% down, and they're going to have their own terms to that.
That's a good point. Another
thing to consider is permitting. Permitting is a process. It's not quick, and permitting is not known for being cheap, and it takes time. You'd have to make sure that the land you're even looking at is going to be zoned for residential use.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of like really beautiful acreage. They have water on it, river, and it's only recreational. You're not allowed to build on it. So that is a huge thing that a lot of people are like, wow, look at this land. Unfortunately, you can't build. So also utilities, like if it doesn't have utilities on the property, that can cost so much money. So the permits, everything, I mean, it's huge, a huge expense if you get a plot of land that doesn't have utilities on it.
It's also to know that manufactured homes typically depreciate over time. So if you need to consider that before moving into one, is this going to be your forever place? Or are you just trying to get your foot in the door for affordability? And that's the route you think you want to go? Because they're typically not known for appreciating.
Yeah, and like maybe a difference would be if you were getting a modular home or like something like an A-frame, a kit house, you're putting it on the land. However, with that, you have a lot more expenses to actually get the house built on the land.
Yeah, construction costs.
Yeah. So if you're looking to go this route and have it be a more low cash out of pocket route, unlike what we just talked about, you might want to consider buying a manufactured home that's already on land. So you buy them both, you can finance them both. And there are, you could do USDA, I mean, you can do VA, like very low down payment options, but and the utilities are already on there, right? So you save all that money. There's some things to consider there though as well.
Yeah, and even those might not be quite as cheap as you'd think to get, because typically you're paying a premium for land anyway.
Yeah, there's also lending restrictions. So some of the lending restrictions on those types of properties would be like if a manufactured home's been moved more than once, it could be tricky to finance. And there's also age restrictions of the actual property itself. There's even like tie down restrictions. Like there's things that we need to know before the lender really needs to know before they will loan money on it.
Yep. So bottom line, we're typically asked this question because people are working on a tighter budget. So if that's your situation and this is your goal, there's still opportunities out there, but they might not be what you would expect and they might not be where you'd think to look. So reach out to us and like and subscribe and help us know what your situation is so that we can help you get there.